Well, hot damn. You're still breathing. I figured you would have died off a while ago. Since you're still alive and kicking, I might as well tell you the reasons why you're dying.
Bind on pickup. When did this become a standard in the MMO world? Back in the day of the great MMOs, you didn't have BOP. It was either you use it, pass it, or bind on equip. And with BOE, it was understandable, it was reasonable. There was no reason why one toon should tweak the hell out of another toon that has not worked for the same item. Warhammer uses bind on pickup as one of the greatest insults to the player base. Not only do you spend 5 hours of your life grinding away at some elite 6-man dungeon, but chances of one of the epic armor pieces dropping from one of the classes actually in the group are slim. Sure, the armor piece itself is a guaranteed drop, which is great. It's just not a guaranteed drop for anyone in your group to use. We come out of the dungeon 5 hours older with nothing to show for it but a few gray hairs and a new hatred for the PvE content in the game. What could be done to make this less frustrating? So that the game is not just about giving away gear to everyone, but actually rewarding the players that complete the game's content properly. Well, it's sort of simple really. The game already has gear sets coded with the same idea that requires a player to work and earn the right to wear the equipment. RVR gear has the rule set already applied, whereas the player can own an invader chest but can't equip it until they're the proper realm rank. With that being said, let's apply the same rule to PvE, where the requirement to equip the armor piece requires you to actually defeat the boss that drops that armor piece. Battlefield objectives, Tier 4 design. What happened here? Lack of resources? Not enough staff? No time? The game's design progression within the RVR lakes went from simplistic, as it should in Tier 1, to an offensive battle design in Tier 2, then a tactical defensive design in Tier 3, then to a flaming bag of cow poop simplistic design in Tier 4, where combat was no longer about tactical positioning or strategic thinking. It was mass or be mass, zerg or be zerged. All the critical thinking from Tier 3 tossed out the window, and the small group was no longer a viable option in open RVR. This is the problem with Tier 4. This is why players are so disappointed with the Tier 4 RVR. Go to Tier 3, go to High Pass and Empire Parent. Look at the battlefield objectives, the tavern, the manor, the tower. All these objectives that if defended can actually be defended with smaller numbers. That each battle at these objectives are designed to be epic battles. Now on the other side of the spectrum, look at Tier 4 battlefield objective designs, where the tactical option is simply to stand in the open. The Tier 4 design is not a hybrid of what we learned in Tier 2 and Tier 3. It's simple and purely mindless mass on mass battles. But don't just take a BO and stick a tower in it. Rethink these objectives and multiple choke points instead of just one. If there's anything we learned from the Keep redesign, it's that one choke point is bad, 3 choke points are good. Make the game more of a balance between defense and offense. Epic encounters in you. Resurrection. RVR, PvP, scenarios, public quests, basic PvE, nearly everything in this game allows the player to recover, to get back into the fight. If the player dies, he can be brought back to life and recover in the battle. It's part of the skill of a healer to be able to keep the heals going and bring a fallen party member back into action. Mistakes happen, either on the player's end or on the game's coding end. It's a video game. It should be about the player's enjoyment and the challenge of the encounter. Creating a system that requires the players to perform the encounter perfectly without fault or error just widens the frustration and hatred the player base has for these epic encounters. Allow players to resurrect during these encounters once again. Allow us to enjoy the game. Wasted content, improved content. Forts. The removal of forts is possibly one of the biggest mistakes Mythic has ever brought upon the game, and continues to play the game, causing the endgame content to be trivial. Bring back forts, but just not the forts we had to deal with. Add a second ramp to the Lord Room, so forts gain the same improvement as the keeps. Reduce the constant respawn of the champ cards. Allow players to be res in the Fort Lord battle once again, following the same rule set as the epic encounter section. And finally, tie in forts with the underdog system. If a realm has 1 underdog point, they get 1 fort to defend. If a realm has 2 underdog points, they get 2 forts to defend. It's that simple. Orc and dwarf capital cities. No. I don't want more useless capital cities. Altdorf and IC already fill that need. What I do want is more epic endgame content designed for more than 6 players at a time. Dungeons such as Gunbad and Bastion Stairs were great. You can go to them with a warband of 2 of players and have a great time as a guild. So that's what I want to see. 2 epic dungeons, each one that is as fun as Hunter's Vale, and designed for a warband of players to enter. Too much of this game's epic content is focused around the elite 6-man team. We need to do away with that idea if we want to bring forth a stronger gaming community. Allow warbands into the 6-man instances. Let us play this game together instead of just 6 of us at a time. Get creative. Land of the Dead did something really cool. It added a world boss for us to gasp at. The same kind of thing should be added to each pairing. A large random lord spawn that happens anywhere within the pairing, at any time. Let's start having some epic content in the open field for your player base. Let us want to love this game again. Victory points and zone domination. Alright, I've said this 1,000 times. Fix victory points, get rid of zone domination, have keeps and BOs generate victory points over time. Boom, done. Siege? What siege? Why is it so useless? Why does it not seem as effective as it did in Tier 2 or Tier 3? Why is Siege so easily ignored? Why do players not really use anything other than rams? There once was a time when Siege mattered, when oil was still a devastating defensive weapon of war, when the renowned abilities would still actually work on all Siege, allowing players to figure out new tactical possibilities in order to slow down the progression of overwhelming odds. Increase the damage, increase the rate of fire, just an overall improvement for the defenders. Why should all the normal siege engines look exactly like the bulky siege engines, or even the exceptional speed engines? Let's get creative, let's have fun with our siege. Let's change the graphic for the elite siege weapons to something designed for each race. For example, the Greenskins could have some sort of giant cave troll, Empire could have a huge steam tank, Dwarfs could have a huge iron golem. Let's show the damage on the keep doors. Every 25%, the door should look like it's taking damage.
Well, I could say more, but I don't think you got much time left anyway. Good luck.